Band-Aids. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these potential bad boys right here. These feel good. Like they feel good. And this, my friends, is the Joel Embiid 1, also known as just the UA or Under Armour Embiid 1. First things first, big thank you to my friend David, also known as DG Hoops. He's the reason why we have these early. He saw them on a store shelf somewhere. He hit me up and he was like, bro, did you want a pair? Yes, I do. They didn't have my size though, which was a bummer. So this is a size 10. We're actually going to be giving them away to one of our lucky Discord members. When I do get a pair of my size though, I'll do a full performance review, but so far I've only just tried these on and man, I'm just saying, like these feel pretty good. Now, we saw these when?
Back in January.
So it was the UA Performance Summit. You went there, I went there, Drew went there, and there was a whole big spiel and all that stuff. The only thing I was really interested in were these, because a lot of the stuff was a bunch of like influencer, like workout people, which I am not, okay? So they were all super fit, super buff. Even the ladies were like, whew, and I was like, damn, like y'all are, like you make me feel awful right now.
It was a humbling experience.
I already know that I'm not like, you know what I mean? But like being around them, I was like, man, everybody here is like perfect looking, even your kale salads and shit. But the Embiid 1 was one of the things that they unveiled, and I was excited to get a pair, only they didn't give us any. They just showed it to us, and then they put an embargo on us for like ever. So these are them, and this is the outsole right here. This looks pretty cool. A little bit like, you know, Kobe 9-ish. It looks like a pressure map or a heat map, but it's supposed to be showcasing where Embiid's from and all that stuff, like the motherland and all of that. So that's pretty cool. As far as what it feels like it's going to be like crazy, because this is multi-directional. It's almost like a radial pattern, and it feels thick too, so it feels like it'll last decently outdoors. Like not like anything crazy, but I think it should be one of those shoes that you're gonna be able to go inside, outside, wherever you play, you should be good in these. Now my favorite thing about these is actually the cushion, because it was the most intriguing thing. Like they were like, it's gonna be hover in the back and then micro G in the front. And I was like, what? How are you gonna do that? We've seen the hover and micro G combo with the Curry 7. I was unimpressed. It was just firm as, it just was not good, man. Like when you promote like your two best cushioning systems, especially when you put them in your running category and they feel awesome in the running category, and you go over to your flagship basketball shoe and you put them on and you're like, man, that was a letdown. You know what I mean? Like initial step in, all that stuff. I was like, what the f? These though, man, I stepped in these, I was like, yo, is this, like, what year is this? Is this OG Micro G? Man, these are comfortable. I was surprised. So yeah, it's super weird. I don't know how they implement everything, because it literally says hover in the back and then it says Micro G on the front. It's got that old school Micro G dot thing. That's how you used to know when it was Micro G or not. You can see that all on the inside, but there's no netting.
Yeah, where'd it go? For
the hover. So it's kind of like, where is the hover? Is it really there? Because this is all one piece. So is there hover somewhere inside? Like, is there dual density of the foams? Similar to like what Adidas does with Bounce? I don't know. All I know is that it's comfortable, man. The funny thing is that when they unveiled these officially, it was like right when the bubble thing was happening, and then Stephen Curry on his Instagram account was like mimicking Joel Embiid's movements on the court in these shoes, and it was like a welcome to the Signature Club family and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, but I really would like to ask Curry, be like, hey, I know these way more comfortable than your shoe. How did you like that? You know what I mean? Because he plays in some really stiff so I would just like to know. So yeah, I think that these feel good. And so far it's the tooling that I'm super excited about. Again, that traction looks and feels awesome. And then the cushion, again, feels awesome. So as long as those two things are good, man, we should be money. Now the upper on these guys is very basic. This is one of the things where Under Armour does really well with its fabrics, especially with the apparel side. But for some reason for basketball footwear, it's always like feels lackluster. Not since the Curry 1. You know, that was like the last shoe where I was like, oh yeah, those are cool. As far as like the material goes, it was like anafoam. Do you remember some of the old stuff like the Torch and the Brandon Jennings shoes and stuff like that? There was some nicer materials. There was leather, suedes. But this is just an open cell mesh, really open cell on top of that. It looks like what you would make a tongue out of, but it's the whole shoe. And then they have these skin fuse overlays, real thin stuff. It's the Band-Aid smell. like that we had in the
Spawn.
Yeah, the Spawn 2019. So it's that same exact stuff, and the upper is just kind of whatever, you know. Like I don't have anything good or bad to say about it. As long as it keeps you contained on the footbed, it doesn't rip on you, then it should be all right. Those of you guys that are like, oh, I need breathability, this is probably going to be one of them shoes because they don't make shoes like this anymore. You know what I mean? Where they're like super breathable. Overall, though, the upper. You know, not impressed. I will say though, this little guy is on the other side too. It's just not all the way down on the footbed, but this little guy excites me. I don't know why. It's just that little piece where I'm like, man, that 4 foot dude, I'm gonna feel so snug. I like that. Now, as far as fit is concerned, again, these are not my size. I did try them on. They feel like they would fit true to size because there's only like a thumb's width base and stuff. These are size 10. I normally wear size 9. Yeah, they feel like they're going to be true to size. They also feel like they might be wide footer friendly because of that material. This guy right there might hinder that a little bit, but it's going to be flexible. It's like a rubbery material. So as long as you loosen that up, it will, you know, maneuver and like stretch around your foot if you have like a big ass foot and stuff.
I was gonna say I like that about it because it looks like it wraps up and around versus stopping at a weird point where it's just gonna dig.
Or get stitched so it doesn't really do anything, it's just there. It just excites me. I really do like this. I want to see more colorways. So I've seen like some stuff leaked and I don't know if it's just the shot, the potato camera or whatever, but like I'm just kind of like, is there gonna be like a really cool one or is this it? You know, because this little guy right there looks dope. So, initial thoughts. I know that you're not a hooper, and I know that you don't typically like cool-looking shoes like Jordans and stuff like that.
Cool-looking shoes.
Yeah, so maybe this is more up your alley. I don't know.
I don't know. I do understand your infatuation with this. It reminds me of Flames.
Flame you, Hotman!
One of the cool things about way back in January that feels like it was 10 years
that
ago.
Feels like it was forever and a day ago, man.
Yeah, was when they unveiled the shoe to us. Not only was Embiid there, but also the designer was there for us to ask questions. And the designer came from running. Like, that's what he originally designed there.
Yeah, he started with the Phantom, which was like a super dope shoe. It was one of their more successful shoes in recent years. And then he did the Phantom SE, which I love. Somebody else did the new Phantom, but then he went to this shoe. And that's something that I believe he kind of like put in here, is that Embiid wanted more of a guard shoe than like a traditional big man shoe, which I thought was real interesting. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask, I don't remember if I asked him in front of everybody or if I talked to him like privately.
Yeah, we got to like mix and mingle with them for a little bit.
Well, plus he and I hung out a little bit when we were eating dinner, and like we were just like, he was like, hey, I like your vids and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I like the design teams usually versus PR people, because PR people and I don't mesh. We don't mesh well. I think I did ask him this, but outside of everything. But I was like, did Curry like help you wear test these since it's a guard shoe? And he laughed and said no. But I thought it was a valid question. But I did think that it was interesting, though, that again, this is a guard style shoe for a big man, because the guy likes that lightweight. He doesn't like that heavy, clunky stuff. So if you like that type of setup or whatever, like, this should be pretty much good to go. It feels to me like Hyperdunk-ish, you know, where it could be like that any man style shoe, because it's got the containment, the breathability, the fit. The support features are minimal, but the features that they have in there are good enough for a big man. I feel like a deodorant commercial. They're strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's strong enough for Joel Embiid, but it was made for your short little ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm just like, all right, cool, man, we got this. So I think that this is going to be a good shoe. Again, it's the cushion and the traction are my main things, where I'm just like, man, it feels like OG Micro G, man. And I don't want to like hype it up or anything, but I've worn Under Armour since then, and I felt what Micro G has kind of like turned into. So when I put them on, I was like, no way. And I had to like wait a little while, and I put them on again because I thought maybe like they were like fresh off the truck.
Yeah.
Like they were like too warm, so the foam was like too soft or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna try these back on in a couple hours, and I did, and I was like, what the? They're so comfy.
I'm gonna die!
And then I was bummed that they weren't my size. And just for everybody that's part of our Discord, if you're not a part of our Discord, you can click the link in the description box. It'll tell you what it means to be a Discord member. Basically, they help fund the channel, so stuff like this, that's how we buy them, which we appreciate. Keeps us 100% independent, but it does not make us like have the need for a brand to send us stuff, because we're just like, nah, we got this, don't worry. So we thank all of you guys and all that stuff. And again, all of our gold members get giveaways, so there's like a guaranteed giveaway as soon as we cycle through everybody. And we do like monthly hangouts and stuff like that, which are awesome. So the person that's going to win these, we'll just post them right over here. And yeah, you got a pair of Embiid ones before everybody else, so congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and hopefully I get my pair in sooner or later, because again, these feel dope. Like, I want to play in them so bad. So yeah, congratulations. Thank you once again to David for helping me out. I greatly appreciate it. And let us know what you think about these down below in the comments section. So until next time, guys, have a good one.